I've got to warn you, the mysteries I'm about to dive into might just keep you up at night, questioning everything you thought you knew. Now, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through some of the most perplexing, unsolved mysteries of all time. These aren't your run-of-the-mill cold cases or urban legends. It's July 2nd, 1937, and the world is holding its breath. Amelia Earhart, the daring aviator who captured the hearts of millions, has vanished into thin air during her attempt to circumnavigate the globe. Her last radio transmission crackles through the airwaves, and then silence. To this day, no one knows what happened to Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan. Theories range from a simple crash and sink scenario to more outlandish ideas involving Japanese capture or even alien abduction. But Earhart's disappearance isn't the only vanishing act that's left us scratching our heads. Fast forward to December 1872, and we've got another head-scratcher on our hands. The Mary Celeste, a merchant ship, is found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean. Now here's where it gets weird. The ship is in perfect condition, fully stocked with food and supplies. But there's not a soul on board. Now, I don't know about you, but there's something about the ocean that's always given me the creeps. And no place embodies that creepy factor quite like the Bermuda Triangle. This area of the Atlantic Ocean, roughly bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been swallowing up ships and planes for centuries. We're talking dozens of vessels and aircraft, vanishing without so much as a distress call. But the ocean isn't the only place nature likes to mess with our heads. Let's take a trip to Taos, New Mexico. Sounds pleasant, right? Well, not if you're one of the unlucky residents plagued by the mysterious Taos hum. Imagine a low-frequency drone, constant and maddening, that only some people can hear. Scientists have tried to explain it away as tinnitus or industrial noise. But here's the kicker. Even when all possible sources are eliminated, the hum persists. Alright, let's dial it back a few centuries and talk about one of the most perplexing documents ever discovered, the Voynich Manuscript. It's a 15th century book filled with strange illustrations of unidentified plants, bizarre cosmological diagrams, and text written in a language that no one, not even the world's top cryptographers, has been able to decipher. Is it an elaborate hoax? An encrypted message from the past? Or maybe, just maybe, it's the work of someone not entirely human? And speaking of ancient mysteries, we can't ignore the granddaddy of them all, the lost city of Atlantis. Plato first mentioned this advanced civilization in his dialogues, describing a utopian society that sank into the ocean in a single day and night. Now here's where it gets interesting. People have been searching for Atlantis for centuries, and every few years, someone claims to have found it. But if Atlantis was real, how could such an advanced civilization disappear so completely? In the late 1960s, Northern California was gripped by fear. A serial killer who called himself the Zodiac was on the loose. This wasn't your average criminal. The Zodiac taunted police with cryptograms and letters to newspapers, claiming to have killed 37 people. Despite one of the most extensive manhunts in U.S. history, the Zodiac's identity remains a mystery to this day. Let's rewind to 1947, Los Angeles. A young woman named Elizabeth Short is found brutally murdered, her body cut in half and posed in a vacant lot. The press dubs her the Black Dahlia, and her case becomes a media sensation. Despite countless suspects and years of investigation, Short's killer was never found. It's February 1959, in the remote Ural Mountains of Russia. 9 experienced hikers set out on a skiing expedition. Days later, their bodies are found scattered around their campsite. Their tent had been cut open from the inside and they were found barefoot in the snow, some partially dressed, others in their underwear. But here's the kicker. Some of the bodies had inexplicable injuries, including crushed ribs and skulls, and one was missing her tongue. Now, let's hop over to Australia, 1948. A man is found dead on Somerton Beach, wearing a suit and tie with no identification. In the man's pocket, investigators find a scrap of paper with the words, "Tamam shud," Persian for, "it is ended." This scrap was torn from a rare copy of a book of Persian poetry, which was later found with a coded message written inside. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always wondered if we're alone in the universe. Well, on August 15th, 1977, we might have gotten our answer. An Ohio State University radio telescope picked up a signal so strong and unusual that the astronomer on duty, Jerry Amon, circled it on the computer printout and wrote, "Wow," next to it. The signal lasted for 72 seconds, came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, and bore all the hallmarks of potential extraterrestrial origin. But let's bring things back down to Earth, specifically to a certain Scottish lake. The Loch Ness Monster has been capturing imaginations for centuries. Described as a large, long-necked creature, Nessie has been the subject of numerous sightings and photographs. But despite extensive sonar sweeps and underwater searches, no concrete evidence of a monster has ever been found. Let's wrap things up with a couple of historical head-scratchers that'll really make you question reality. First up, the Green Children of Woolpit. The boy eventually sickened and died, but the girl survived, lost her green tint, and supposedly told a tale of coming from an underground world. And finally, let's dance our way into one of the most bizarre events in history: the Dancing Plague of 1518. In Strasbourg, France, a woman named Frau Trophea started dancing in the street. Nothing too out of the ordinary, except she didn't stop, for days. And then others joined her. At its peak, this dancing mania had about 400 people dancing non-stop, some until they collapsed from exhaustion or even died. So, these are just some of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries that continue to baffle us to this day. From vanishing acts to unexplained phenomena, from cryptic codes to dancing plagues, these mysteries remind us that there's still so much we don't understand about our world. If you found yourself captivated by these strange and mysterious tales, why not hit that like button? And if you want to dive deeper into the unknown, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Who knows? Maybe together we can crack one of these age-old mysteries. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and always stay curious.